This is the Thundering Herd on ESPNRadio.com. Now,
Couscous, Gunga Din, living the is.
the Thundering Herd with Colin Cowherd.
It's incredible.
On ESPNRadio.com.
You know, it's Thanksgiving, and I felt like driving into work. You know, you get kind of sentimental. You think about what it means. You look back at previous Thanksgivings. I've had some good Thanksgivings. Not one of my favorite holidays. I'm a Christmas, 4th of July guy. But I'm also a lucky guy. I've got healthy kids, good friends, stable employment. I'm extremely good looking. Have the taste of royalty. Anyway, I felt like driving to work this morning. It's time to give back to the audience. How can I help our listeners? On a large scale, but yet make it very personal. So each and every one of you feel like I'm helping, but it really helps on a large scale. So I'm driving into work, and I'm thinking, what's the hard part of Thanksgiving? Well, let's start with the food. What's hard about the food? Well, making the food. And then I thought to myself, you know what's really hard about the food? Eating some of it. Everybody likes to think they've got a great dish that nobody else knows about. Everybody makes their yams differently, or a bean salad differently, the stuffing differently. But the truth is, most of you are not great cooks, myself included. And I'm not going to speak for everybody today, but I can't be the only human being on Thanksgiving for the last 43 years who's been forced to eat something that my grandma made or my sister-in-law made that's absolutely inedible and horrid. I can't be the only guy. Every Thanksgiving, there was this one dish that was foul, and I had to just plug my nose and eat it. And it's tough to hurt feelings. It's tough to tell somebody who's labored all day in the kitchen, put their heart and soul into a dish. It's hard to tell them, that is terrible. Or as Charles Barkley would say, terrible. That's just terrible. So today, I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to deliver the message for you. I'll take the hit. I mean, nobody likes me anyway. So you email me via the Michelin inbox. You email me at theherd, H-E-R-D, at ESPNradio.com. And you email me the worst dish and who makes it. And I will gently suggest to that person that they stop making it. Now, I started in the West Coast Hour doing this, and I already got a really good email from Nick in Minnesota. Heard my Aunt Fran make something called an asparagus loaf. That sounds bad. It's a mixture of creamed asparagus and Jell-O. It also includes the crunchy French fried onion things that are mixed in and adorned on the top of the loaf. It's served cold. Seriously. One year she included walnuts. A couple years before, it included sliced hot dogs. It really depends on what Aunt Fran has in her fridge that she needs to get rid of. I sarcastically told her how much I liked it a decade ago. She's brought it every year since. My family hates me. It's absolutely awful. Nick Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota. All right, Aunt Fran, asparagus loaf, weak, gross, stop it. People are toying with you and your emotions as an old Aunt Fran lady. Stop making the asparagus loaf. It's heinous. All right, there. I did it. I saved Nick, and I saved Aunt Fran, and I saved the Thomas family from more inedible asparagus loaf because she serves it cold. Oh, God. We also figure that we can share in each other's misery. Maybe by hearing how hard others have it on Thursday tomorrow, you'll realize what's served on your table isn't that bad. My producer, Vince, told me about one of his dishes this morning. He dated a girl for 4 years. That girl's mom made a chestnut stuffing. She got the chestnuts from a tree outside of her work. So about 2 months before Thanksgiving, this mother of the girl Vince dated would start saving the chestnuts and gathering them for a couple of months prior to Turkey Day. Then she'd open them, peel them, roast them. It's a labor of love. Her name was Lorraine. The problem is, Lorraine, it tasted like earth. It tasted awful. As Vince said this morning, it was a dish of dirt for 4 years. And it's one of the reasons he broke up with your lovely daughter. Lorraine, go buy some stovetop. We appreciate the effort, Lorraine, but your chestnut stuffing, bury it. It's hideous. It's almost as bad as Aunt Fran's asparagus loaf served cold. Not quite. I'm going to tell my mom something right now, and I love her dearly. But she's got a green bean, creamy onion soup, crunchy thing on top salad. I ate that thing for 20 years. It's why I moved to the East Coast. It literally forced me out of the state. It tasted like grass clippings soaked in garlic with a twigs glaze. Mom, the reason I moved to Connecticut was that dish. You only served it once a year. It literally forced me out of the state. Nobody likes it. People love you. Stop putting it on people's plate. Much like Aunt Fran and Lorraine, get some stovetop. I used to cover it in gravy to get it down. Awful. So today I'm doing a show for you on Thanksgiving Eve. If you have an in-law or a grandma or a girlfriend who insists on making a dish that's inedible, you email me, theherd at ESPNradio.com, and we'll tell her, let it go. Already this morning, Lorraine, my mom, and Aunt Fran we've suggested strongly, do better. Replace the dish. Time to put the crunchy onion thing, creamy green put it on the DL. Sabbatical, hiatus, something. Bring it back in several years. It's just not working right now. Get it out of the rotation. Whoa! Tell me the horrible Thanksgiving dish that somebody in your family makes. I'll take the bullet for you today. This comes from Charlie Olmsted. Heard my grandmother Cheryl makes Jell-O with a variety of vegetables floating inside. Seriously, picture this. Jiggling Jell-O with asparagus and carrots floating inside. Completely horrendous. Cheryl, Charlie doesn't like it. And it sounds absurd. Cheryl, stop making it. Heard email, here's another lovely dish. I'll try not to make you gag. My mother-in-law mixes cranberry sauce with her green bean casserole. It wouldn't be that bad, except she includes Swiss and Limburger cheeses as well. What makes it hysterical, though, she puts her cranberry sauce straight from the can and slices it on the top. Yes, you can see the lines from the can on some of the slices. Hopefully I can slip it to the dog accidentally during the Packers-Lions game. That's Chris in North Dakota. All right, the mother-in-law of Chris in North Dakota, don't be so cheap. Make your own cranberry sauce. And there's never a good reason to put Limburger cheese on anything. Keep the emails coming regarding bad Thanksgiving dishes that you want eliminated from the table. I said, all of us guys, some of you gals, we go to Thanksgiving, there's always that one dish that's heinous. Aunt Fran, your sister-in-law, Grandma Lorraine, Betty makes, and has been making for years, it's horrible. And basically, you just didn't have the heart to tell her. So today I'll take the bullet for you. Heard email. This comes from Greg Bowers. My mom has given up on the dish you're saying you hate, the string bean casserole. But now she's replaced it with a dish that's strangely similar, and just as heinous. Broccoli and cauliflower with cream of mushroom and asparagus, sliced almonds, and crunchy little fried onions. It's been the mouthful I spit back in the napkin when I cough at the table for the last 5 years. Please, Colin, make it stop. Thank you, Greg. Oh, that's heard email. This comes from Matt in Albany, New York. I'm sure you've heard of bacon-wrapped scallops. My sister-in-law, Mary, made bacon-wrapped apricots with a fantastic apricot jam on top. Worst dish ever. She'd never made it before, nor tried it prior to Thanksgiving. Yeah, great idea. Bring out the single worst recipe ever in your family. Bacon-wrapped apricots with a, quote, fantastic apricot jam on top. Colin, make that go away. Hey, sister-in-law Mary, that doesn't even sound good. Oh, you poor people. It's incredible. My mom has, for years, made the sliced beans, creamy onion soup, casserole with crunchy fried onion thingies on top. Just inedible. Everything else was great. My mom's a really good cook. But, I have this theory on food. Say it out loud. If it doesn't sound great, then just don't make it. It's sort of like guys who have affairs, or guys, if you ever wonder if you're going to do something at 2 a.m, just say it out loud. Really, if you're ever going to do something at 2, 3, 4 a.m, before you do it, say it out loud. Knock off a Circle K and then make a run for it in a Buick. It just doesn't sound like a good idea. Make out with my secretary and come home smelling like her perfume. How's that good on any level? Hey, even good cooks have a bad dish. You're not saying the person in your family is a horrible cook, although they often are. It's just there's this one dish that doesn't cut it. Save it to us, send it to us, and we'll play it. And we'll take the bullet for you. Whoa! We're helping America. Anybody that has a bad dish on Thanksgiving, tell us who makes it. We'll tell them. We'll take the bullet and tell them it stinks. Heard email from Mike in Snowbird, Utah. Heard, like many others, I made the fatal mistake of complimenting Aunt Lula on her olive loaf surprise. Yes, quite a surprise. It seems to be a concoction of olives, mushrooms, onions, generously sprinkled with elephant laxative. Nobody's touched it since '98, not even the dogs. All right, Aunt Lula, get your act together. Olive loaf surprise is no longer a surprise. Everybody hates it. Heard email. My mother-in-law, Gail, chain smokes when she cooks. So we get smoked turkey, smoked ham, smoked casseroles, smoked yams, smoked rolls, and smoked pumpkin pie. My recommendation, Gail, let me buy lunch. From Chad in Atlanta. Chain smoking mother-in-law, Gail. Be healthier. Heard email from Charles in Duluth, Georgia. My wife's grandmother makes something called tomato aspic, which is tomato juice, which has been boiled with pimentos, celery, peppers, and Jell-O and cucumbers, then congealed in the fridge and served cold. I've never experienced it myself, but the entire family tells the horse. I don't know if I can get through these. Oh, these are the ones we can air. Oh, you should see the ones I can't air. Heard email from Bubba in Kansas City. My sister-in-law puts Lucky Charms and sliced bananas in lime Jell-O. It looks like something from Christmas Vacation. Yeah, by the way, the common theme here is Jell-O and asparagus. Women, it doesn't work. It's horrid. Oh.